What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. A little bit different of a video today. It's honestly almost like a travel vlog because I just landed in San Francisco. So I just finished my first week of my surgery rotation. I was on trauma, so go check out last video if you're interested in seeing what that was like. But for the next few days, I'm going to be in San Francisco for a research conference. So the conference I'm attending is AAOS, or American Academy of Orthopaedic Surgeons, I believe. Their national meeting this year is in San Francisco. A really long time ago, probably like 8 months ago, I submitted a poster to this conference and it was accepted. So because of that, I'm able to come out here and attend the conference. My first time out in San Francisco, and this is only going to be my second conference ever, so I thought it would be a great time to vlog the experience. I'm super excited. My first conference that I ever went to was last July. It was actually in DC during our summer break, so it worked out really well. It was a sports medicine conference, one of the bigger ones all year, so it was a really great experience. Learned a lot. I was able to see my friend Ryan give a big podium presentation in front of a bunch of amazing surgeons. This conference is really the biggest orthopedic conference all year. However, it's more just general. It's not really sports medicine specific. So they'll have a lot of all the different subspecialties represented, like joint replacement, spine, hand, pretty much everything orthopedics. So the conference starts tomorrow, but I came out here today just to sort of get a lay of the land and sort of prep for the conference. All I have is a poster, so there's nothing really have to do. It's not like I'm gonna be up on a podium giving a real presentation. Basically, if there are certain times that the poster presenters are supposed to be by their poster to answer questions, I'll have to be there for that. But other than that, I can just go to whatever session that I want to. There's so many talks throughout the whole day, so I just gotta kind of look through the program, see if there's anything I'm interested in, and I can go to it. Also, part of this is just gonna be exploring San Francisco. Like I said, I've never been here before. Never been to California, really. I mean, it was crazy flying out here. The flight was almost 6 hours, but when I got here, it was before 10 a.m. My flight left at 6, so I don't know, it was honestly kind of like time travel. I was able to get a lot of work done on the plane, and then when I got here, it was still pretty early in the morning. It is going to be a quick trip. Like I said, today is Sunday, and then I head back on Tuesday. And unfortunately, I'm going to face sort of the opposite of the time travel, where I am going to pretty much spend all day Tuesday traveling. And then I will have to be at the hospital at 5 a.m. Wednesday morning. So, definitely not going to be like a restful vacation, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. My roommate Ryan is also here. He has a poster, and then some of our other friends who are applying into orthopedics right now are here, so it's gonna be great to catch up with them. And honestly, the most exciting thing is it is Super Bowl Sunday, and San Francisco is playing in the Super Bowl. It's crazy how everything sort of lined up with the conference and San Francisco making it into the Super Bowl, but especially if they win, it's gonna be a very fun day in San Francisco. So that's pretty much it for right now. I have to unpack a little bit more and then go grab some food because I'm starving.
Suddenly, the world I used to know, I see it differently. You woke me from a dream, now here's reality. Baby, baby, you are really hurting me. 'Cause every time you tell me I look good and that I'm doing fine, but nothing ever changes. And now I see, baby, you are hurting me.
Alright, so I'm back in New Jersey. I unfortunately couldn't film too much more of San Francisco just because we were really busy. I didn't have a good time to sort of sit down and explain what we were doing. But so I think the last time I checked in was sort of right when I got there. So after that, met up with Ryan and our friend Usman, who is a fourth year at Rutgers, who's currently in the residency application cycle. So we went and grabbed some food, and then after that we relaxed a little and then went to a brewery to watch the Super Bowl. It's honestly so like convenient and ironic that this conference was in San Francisco and the 49ers were in the Super Bowl. So like I said, we went to this brewery. It was flooded with 49ers fans. It was a great environment. Honestly, I didn't really have too much loyalty to either of the teams that were in the Super Bowl, so it was nice to just root for the home team. I don't know if it was the fact that the 49ers lost, or this is just how the West Coast works, or it was a Sunday, I don't really know, but the bar closed around 8 p.m. You know, for us, our bodies were still sort of on East Coast time, so it was 11, so we were like, all right, like, we're kind of tired, we'll go home, but we were just really confused as to why the bar was shutting down at 8 p.m., but like I said, maybe it was just because of the Super Bowl, or that is how the West Coast works. I'm not really sure. So after that, just went home and got some sleep because we were pretty tired, jet lagged. We had a really long day already, and the conference was the next day. So the next morning we woke up pretty early just because our bodies were kind of used to that. I think I woke up at like 4:30 or 5, and then we went and grabbed some breakfast and did a little bit of sightseeing. We went actually to the ocean. So it was my first time ever touching the Pacific Ocean. It was honestly a pretty nice day for February. San Francisco is pretty much just completely due west of where we are in New Jersey, so it wasn't too much warmer, but it was still a nice day. Then we walked around this really big, nice park for a while. I honestly really like San Francisco and the fact that there's, you know, the city, there's this giant park, and then there's the beach all within the same vicinity. We took like a 30-45 minute train pretty much from the furthest east part of San Francisco, which is where I was staying, all the way to the beach. So it's just a nice part of coastal cities, I guess. A lot of the East Coast cities that I've been to really aren't like that. The one thing everyone talks about San Francisco is all of the hills. Thankfully, I really didn't have to experience trekking up a long hill, but I will say that it makes the skyline of the city look so cool. You know, there were several times where we were walking around, we would just look down this long road and it would just slowly go up. It made everything look a lot more interesting, and a lot of cities aren't like that. So after we walked around that park for a little, we went back to the hotel room and got ready to go to the conference. The one unfortunate thing was we were only there really for one day, and these conferences usually pick up a little bit better towards the end of the week, so there weren't a lot of sessions that we wanted to go to, so we didn't really spend too much time there. One of the biggest, like, most exciting parts about conferences are the different company exhibits. Like, they usually have a lot of cool technology for you to play around with, but that wasn't even set up on Monday, so we just kind of went, walked around, saw everything, sat in on a few of the talks, went and saw our posters, and we were able to meet up with some of the people that Ryan knew from his years working as a research assistant. So after spending a few hours at the conference, we went back to the hotel room, relaxed a little bit more, charged our phones, and then got ready to go to dinner. We went to this really nice Spanish tapas place. It's funny, the last conference that I was at was actually in DC, and we also went to a Spanish tapas place, so just found that kind of ironic. But so it was me, Ryan, our friend Usman, another one of their friends, Richa, who they do a lot of research with, her boyfriend, who I think is doing an MBA right now, and then actually a fourth year from my school, Nick, who's also like sort of in the current application cycle for residency. So it was really nice to meet him. Always good to meet upperclassmen, ask some questions about the process. You know, during your third and fourth year, when you're applying for AAOS and applying to residency, there's so many little moving parts that it's sometimes hard to get information on, especially, you know, every school is different, so it was nice to be able to pick his brain on that. He had a podium presentation later in the week, but unfortunately we weren't able to go to it. Either way, it was nice to meet up and just hang out with him. After dinner, we went to a few bars. Didn't stay out too late, but our flight was the next day around 10, so we needed to get a decent amount of sleep. And then Tuesday, that was definitely like the longest, worst travel day that I've ever had. Not that anything necessarily went wrong. It's just, I think, always a hassle to travel from the West Coast to the East Coast. Honestly, I loved the travel day of going from New Jersey to San Francisco because, you know, I got on the plane at 6 a.m. and when I landed, it was like 9:30. I got a bunch of work done and I still had the whole day ahead of me, but it was the complete opposite coming back. So our flight left around 10:30, I think. We landed, I want to say it was like 6:30 or 7, and then we had another like 2 hours to get home. Unfortunately, there was no good like direct flights from San Francisco to the closest airport in New Jersey, so we had to fly into New York. Had to take some public transit into New Jersey. Ryan's friend picked us up, took us back to his place, which was where Ryan's car was at, and then we had like an hour drive from there back to our apartment. So all in all, we didn't get home until like 11 p.m. And then we had to go to bed immediately because we had to be at the hospital at 5 the next day for our surgery rotation. So it's safe to say it was a very long day and we fell asleep pretty much immediately. I wasn't able to sleep too much on the flight. I've never really been able to do that. So it is what it is. Overall, I really enjoyed San Francisco. I've heard some mixed reviews, but I really didn't have any negative experiences. Like I said, I think walking around the city was really nice. Like I love the hills and how they look. It was kind of crazy driving from the airport into the city. I've honestly never really seen mountains like that. It's my first time really out on the West Coast, and we don't have mountains like that on the East Coast, so really nice sightseeing. As I'd mentioned, I love the idea of having a city with nature and a beach right around, so I really feel like it's a place where anyone can find their sort of niche. I do kind of wish that it was a little bit later in the year so we could have enjoyed nicer weather, but it was still pretty great. As for the conference itself, like I said, I wish we could have spent a few more days there. Unfortunately, we're on our surgery rotation. We can't miss the whole week to be at this conference, so we only had a few days there, but I'm still really happy I was able to go. Met a lot of great people, made connections that will hopefully help me in the future. Alright, well that is going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like below and subscribe if you want to see videos like this in the future. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.